Captain's Log, subdate 200429.3. I have to submit an employee evaluation for Ensign What's-His-Face to Subfleet. To be honest, he's adequate for what I need him for, but would like for him to at least stand in the middle of a force field, so that I can get the best out of him. D-. Welcome to the halls of brackets in, close brackets, Justice number 18. Today we're going to be discussing Jussie Smollett, or for the remainder of this video, Juicy Small Bits. Let's see if that gets monetized. Then again, none of these ever do. I have on a number of occasions covered Juicy Small Bits on this channel. I'm now going to give a very short what happened so you can basically understand who he is. Juicy Small Bits was an actor on a TV show called Empire. In the early hours of 29th of January 2019, the police were called after he was attacked by two masked men. He had said that they made racist and homophobic insults, beat him and looped a noose around his neck before fleeing. And at least one of the attackers was a white man who he had claimed had told Jussie that he was in a MAGA country, a reference to Trump's MAGA slogan, Make America Great Again. The police identified Nigerian brothers Abel and Ola Osundero as the attackers. They are not white. The pair knew Smollett told the authorities that he had paid them to attack him in a staged incident. They had initially fled, by the way, to Nigeria, but came back. Small Bits was hit with 16-count grand jury indictment and faced more than 50 years behind bars, until the US State Attorney Kim Foxx dropped all the charges in March 2019. Small Bits was let off with a $10,000 bail forfeiture and community service. Chicago's former mayor Rahm Emanuel and former police chief Eddie Johnson accused him of inflaming race relations in Chicago and wasting police time. The city then sued Small Bits, demanding he reimburse them for the $130,000 wasted investigating what he believed were legit claims. The suit is pending before Kendall in U.S. District Court. Small Bits countersued, accusing the city and Johnson of malicious prosecution. Small Bits lost his role on Empire, became a pariah in the showbiz world, and was mocked summarily by black comedians for making an absolute mockery of their identity. In August, Dan Webb is appointed a special prosecutor. That was just before the malicious prosecution countersuit by Juicy Small Bits. In February of 2020, Dan Webb has officially charged Juicy Small Bits. There are a number of issues that have arisen when it comes to conflict of interest. That certainly came up with Kim Foxx, and again comes up with Dan Webb, because Dan Webb did in fact donate towards Kim Foxx's re-election campaign. Kim Foxx did have to recuse herself from the original case because she made a mistake. A big mistake. Yeah. Her conflict of interest was that in the early days of the police investigation, she intervened at the request of Small Bits' family and their friend, who was the Time's Up CEO Tina Chen, who wanted the FBI to take over the investigation. No doubt this did no one any favours, and only made Small Bits look like he was winning. We could skip ahead to now if you'd like, and I think actually that's what we're going to do. You see, Small Bits has again resurfaced in the news, because his case for malicious prosecution against Chicago PD was thrown out by the judge. But if the disgraced Empire actor is found not guilty in the upcoming trial against the police with Dan Webb in charge, if he is proven innocent, he can refile that claim. The U.S. District Court Judge Virginia Kendall said that if Small Bits decided to refile, it would likely fail in light of the evidence in possession of Chicago police that he had staged the assault, which would include sworn statements by brothers Abel and Ola Osundero, both of whom have openly stated they are prepared to testify in this, because they obviously have the claim that Small Bits paid for that, with her saying that while Small Bits alleges the statements were unreliable and self-serving, he ignores that there was additional evidence to corroborate the Osundero brothers' statements, including suspicious texts between the parties and the deposit of a large check to Abel shortly before the attack. Small Bits' case centres around his original claim that the two masked men attacked him as he was walking home. It all centres around the fact that he made one claim about their race and MAGA, but none of it has held up so far. Interestingly, him and his defence have taken a stance of, We will, for the sake of the truth being the best defense, use the truth because they don't really know anything about it. I'll read the quote. The truth is the best defense, the truth which they know nothing about. Which is why on 3 separate occasions Jussie Smallbits has tried to have the cases dismissed, one of which is for double jeopardy, which totally reeks of one trying to get the truth out by having the case thrown out. Right. Press X to doubt. Here. When one takes 5 minutes to give it some thought, the judge is correct in dismissing this case now because the other case should have happened first. If anyone bothered to give it some thought, it would have made more sense to do the PD one against Smallbits before he then decided to go against them. Therefore, this is another waste of time and money that only serves to make Smallbits look even more stupid. He must have known he was never going to win, and the evidence against him is damning, much of which is in the public domain, and even with what we have seen so far, there is little chance he is going to win, if this is done correctly. Last time, it was not, and it made a mockery of the justice system that Jussie Smallbits got away with it all. If you lie, which I'll be honest, I think you did, you should be punished. You've lost your job, it's unlikely you'll get another one like it. If memory serves, wasn't this all because you wanted a pay rise from Empire? Right. Well, you've got a pay rise. Inversely, from 60,000 an episode down to 0. Was it worth it? I hope your savings get you through life. Although, based on the fact I think Chicago PD are more than likely going to beat you, I don't think you'll have any left. You may want to consider a new career. Might I recommend victimhood? If you're lucky, Nike will endorse you. If you're even luckier, McDonald's will. And they'll just use you as a clown. Because you are a clown. You claim to want truth, but you're trying to shut down discussion. On the 25th of February 2020, his attorney Tina Glandian issued a statement saying the attempt to re-prosecute Mr. Smallbits, 1 year later and on the eve of the Cook County State Attorney's election, is clearly all about politics, not justice. I would say, as a counter to that, justice knows no time. Justice only administers time in the form of a sentence. For me, and as a judge it is well within my right to issue one, you have wasted police time, you have wasted taxpayer money, all because you wanted more money, and will end up losing the majority of what you have, if you're not already wasting it on your attorney already. Your defense is, we shouldn't talk about this, while claiming to want to talk about it. You are using things like Black Lives Matter, Me Too, and basically trying to use politics to rally against you, and in the process, you undermined the very things that are claimed to be stood for by Black Lives Matter, Me Too, and all the other movements that you used to make your nonsensical point. You attempted to legitimize, but ended up delegitimizing because you're a clown. The sentence is prison. I would consider hard labour on Titan, but I'm not entirely sure your delicate hands could handle so much as one blister, let alone a lifetime of calluses. The charge for the sake of it, not just for not paying a fine that you were told to pay, should be perverting the course of justice. That's what it is after all, right? Someone will undoubtedly pick at that and say, no, it's actually this, and this. I'm the judge. You can go to an ISO cube as well. You can share it with Smallbits, but don't worry, he has Smallbits. You don't have to worry about those. Another thing you did, which made others quite cross, was that because you used MAGA and you used it incorrectly, you can't attack it for the idea, so you use it to portray people as racist because white. Trump was able to hammer you, and the only people that could hammer him back were hammering him for other things, not because he was wrong. How sad is that? IsoCube. If you agree with me, by the way, please do let me know in the comments down below. I, of course, want to know what you think the sentence should be, and I will, of course, have a follow-up to this, which will, of course, be numbered 18.5, when we finally get a conclusion. As a final thing, I'm streaming on Twitch tonight, and there's a new video on Moisky Live. I hope you'll have a fantastic Wednesday, and thank you all for listening.